Sam here from BeFit Physio. Today I'm going to be demonstrating to you a shoulder wall isometric for external rotation. I'm going to be showing you this in two positions. We've got a 0 degrees of abduction position and a 90 degrees of abduction position. The reason I'm showing you in two different positions is because the change in shoulder positioning significantly impacts the way the posterior shoulder cuff is loaded. The posterior shoulder cuff is often responsible or involved in a lot of shoulder-based injuries, particularly a rotator cuff related shoulder pain. So this is a nice way of getting some early initial loading into those areas, especially if they're still in a bit of a pain provocation stage. So enough about the chat, let's get into the how. So in terms of the setup, the camera's going to swing around that way so that you can see me from a side-on view against the wall. So this is for the 90 degree option, for the 0 degree option. So you're going to go up against the wall, you're going to have your elbow at 90 degrees, shoulder down by your side. You're going to come fairly close to the wall with just your forearm sticking out a little bit, and then you're going to press your forearm into the wall like so. You're just holding. You can start at a lower intensity push and work your way up to a higher intensity push. So for example, you might start with just a low intensity push, maybe like 50% effort. And then as you get more confident and less painful, you can push harder into more of 100% effort. The nice thing about an isometric is you're not actually moving the joint anywhere, so it reduces the risk of any aggravation, but you are still building some strength through that area. So once you've done those for a period of time, you might want to progress to something like a 90 degree abducted external rotation iso. So we're going to swing back around this way. This one's definitely a lot tougher and something you want to take your time with. The first prerequisite for this is that you can actually get your shoulder into this position pain-free. So if you can't even do that, don't bother with this. If you can get into this pain-free, then what you're going to do is walk yourself right up against the wall, 90 degree position with your shoulder and elbow, and then from there you're going to press your forearm back into the wall as if you're pressing backwards. It's not a tilt, it's a press backwards. So like so. Press backwards into the wall. Same thing like the holds before. Start at a lighter percentage, work your way up to a heavier one, and give these a go, starting in this downward position, working your way into the overhead position.